Okay, so now we have three things going on. How would I go about setting one after the other happening? Can one come in, one come out? Can we animate them all together and kind of moving towards the presentation part of this, I guess?
Sure. So as we've been building each of these elements, we've been kind of working in these separate layers, and
Yeah.
I've been hiding them as I've been going along. So if I don't hide these layers, you can see them all kind of living here in the scene together, which is kind of
Okay,
crazy.
you're there.
So
Okay.
as you mentioned just a second ago, you want to have these come in to the scene one after another. So let's do
Yeah.
that. So in the layers editor here, I think the quickest way to do this would just be to animate the opacity for these layers so we could get them to just fade in and out.
Right, like
We
we've
can
been
very,
doing. Yeah.
yeah, so we can very easily do that by in the layers editor exposing some of the layer properties. So if we expose the blending options for image here, you can see the
Mhm.
opacity value. If we drag this property down into the animation timeline, it'll get
Okay.
added.
Right, there it is.
So that's awesome. And then
Hmm.
basically we want to add the opacity for all of these layers so that we can start animating and offsetting them in the keyframe.
Okay, so it kind of becomes like a video timeline.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good analogy. So it's exactly what we're doing. So now that
Yeah.
we've got the image opacity added to our timeline, we're going to add the opacity for our text layer. And then finally, we're going to add the opacity for our bar layer.
Right.
So just keep things neat and tidy. I'm going to close these again. Um, and now we need to start adding some keyframes to our animation here. So maybe we'll add a couple of different states. We'll have our begin state, our image state, our text state, bar state, and then end state. So since we've got our three layers, maybe each one of these states in the middle will represent the presented state for each, and then our two
Okay.
ending states at the end. So let's connect all these guys together. And then for each one of these states, we basically need to determine what elements we want to be showing for each one. So for our begin state, we want to have everything hidden.
Zero. Yeah.
0, exactly. So, and then for state 2, let's have just the image shown. So we'll do 0 for text in the bar graph.
Okay.
For state 3, let's have just the text shown. And for state 4, just the bar.
Okay. So we're giving everyone different preferences depending
Exactly.
on when we
So,
want to see them. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then the final
Okay.
state, again, add 0 for all of those. So, with any luck, if we've created our animation states correctly and we go through them by clicking next, we
Fingers
should
crossed.
go from image to text to bar. There, perfect. And
Yay.
that's a really quick and dirty way of transitioning between these different layers.
Well, just picking you up there on what you're saying about quick and dirty is that there's kind of no one way to play with Ventus, really. It seems like there's lots of different ways that you can move around in it. So this has been a very creative insight into it, definitely.
That's a great observation to make, and that's a wonderful point. It's correct. Is that there is not really any correct or most correct way of
Right.
doing things in Ventuz. Like obviously, there are some ways of doing things better than others, but
Right.
yeah, there's any number of ways to the goalpost in our software.
Yeah. So much independence. That's awesome.